So, you guys are in Silver Spire. You guys kind of not ransacked, but like did the whole library thing. You guys took your books, and now you guys are in a hotel pacing. You guys have about a month left to find this heir before the queen passes and the Red Queen can take over. Because if the Gold Queen passes, then it goes to the entire kingdom goes to the next of kin, essentially, which would be the Red Queen, which would not be a fun time. Yeah, so that's all I have for you right now. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns as to what's happening, where we're going, what are we doing?
I guess my question is, I know we had like a puzzle. So like, I need to just have you made any progress on it? Like, were you leading us to where we need to go?
We haven't made any progress. It's still a puzzle. But because of the timeline, I'm changing it a little bit. So you guys still have the puzzles. You guys still have pretty much everything that you need. So you don't have to find anything else. You just kind of have to put the pieces together.
Okay.
And then you'll be on your way. Also, real quick, I will be playing as everybody but you two until we get more players.
Okay.
So if I seem like I'm talking to myself, A, I probably am. B, I'm not. I'm playing as multiple characters. So just let this rock. And my brain is working on half circuit boards, okay? Like, you guys are looking at the charms, you guys are looking at the books. I'm gonna open up the floor to you two. Do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns? First.
So I see the different colors. Does that represent who has the riddle?
I just wanted to make it easier for you guys to see, like, who has what, essentially, and which charms they connect with. But the colors don't really mean anything other than just kind of making it easier on you and me. Like, the colors of the notes, that like the notes aren't colored, they're just blank, like they're just pieces of paper with the riddles on them. The colors are just essentially for us, for like the reader perspective, essentially.
Okay.
Sorry, that took a lot to explain. Okay, so
You're bad.
So Harry, Heather, Phoenix, and Lost Girl are all kind of trying to piece this together and figure out how and what and where everything goes. But they're only looking at the notes from the charms, essentially. Lost Girl gave Isaac the books to study for a little while. And they had one page in them, and that page is now torn out, and so now they're just book bindings, essentially. They're just book bindings, essentially. And they each have a corresponding color with kind of the charm that they correspond with. So those colors that you see, like the highlighted notes, are the colors of the book spines or the book bindings. Pippa, Akima is just having some coffee because it's kind of early in the morning. She really isn't doing much, but she absolutely can if she wants to. Like, I have a little bit of homework for your character, Pippa. I want you to try to have Akima be a little bit more of an active player in the story.
Okay.
So, you know...
You got this, girl.
Yeah, like, interact, try and see what you can figure out, you know, ask questions, try to be, like... I get she's, like, this brooding soldier character, and I get that, and I don't want to take away from your character and your character's, like, development through the story, but just, like, you don't have to be in the background just because you're a soldier. You can absolutely 100% ask your own questions and make your character smarter and make your character, like, figure things out before everybody else does. You don't have to just be a hitting dummy, essentially. So that's your little bit of homework, is to be more interactive with this story. Okay, cool. Lost Girl kind of looks over at you, Isaac, and sees the back of the books that you're just looking at the bindings of. And she notices something. She noticed there's a little bit of, like, an etching on the back of the book. Do you want to... And she points it out to you. She's like, hey, did you notice that? Or am I seeing things?
So, I immediately look at it, what I see.
Yeah, you look at it, and you definitely see the etching as well. Go ahead, do me a favor, and roll a d8 for me.
Rolling already.
Well, first tell me which book you're looking at. Like, throw out a color.
I would have started with blue, and I rolled a 1.
You'll go blue. Okay. That's so... Oh, God, that's so accurate to your character. Okay, and you rolled a 1. So you point it out, and then there's a 1 on the back of the book, and then you kind of take a notice of kind of all the books, and they all have an etching on the back of them. Akima, can you also roll a d8 for me?
I got a 1.
You also got a 1. Interesting.
Those ones out the way.
Okay, so you each see on the back of your books that there's a little bit of a number. Akima, can you pick a book for me?
I'll pick red.
You'll pick red. Wow, I'm good at my job. Okay. So you also see the number 1. And things are starting to click together for Lost Girl. I take that back. Things are not starting to click together for Lost Girl. They're clicking together for Shelby, for Miss Phoenix. So she notices that if she puts the books in order, the numbers seem to go together a little bit. And they seem to be pointing to something. The only book that doesn't have a number on the back and has something different on the back is the very first black book that Lost Girl took. On the back of this book is an etching of a compass. So you guys arrange the books to map out the island of Libro de Historia, with Monteneghini at kind of the bottom, and then the rest of the kingdoms kind of arching it. From there, you guys start to put the pieces together. Can everybody roll a d20 for me?
16.
13.
What did you roll again?
I got 16.
16. With your 16, you kind of notice a pattern here. You notice that these numbers aren't random. And these numbers mean something. Isaac, you got a dirty 20. And you're looking at this and you also start to figure out the pieces. Also, Lost Girl figures out the pieces. You all are looking at this coordinates and all of a sudden, as if an epiphany moment happens, light shines through the window of your hotel room, kind of illuminating these books in a kind of angelic way as you all figure this out at the same exact time. These are map coordinates.
I say, wait, this is a map. These are coordinates.
Thank you! Thank you.
Okay, so I try to, like, help grab Akima to, like, help me to, like, adjust him to we could, like, so I could, like, arrange the books the way so, like, it gives, like, a general direction.
It's done. It's done. That's already done.
Okay.
This is when
What do we see?
Lost Girl, with her, she pulls out a huge map from seemingly nowhere, from just like her backpack. She pulls out an entire map of Libro de Historia with grid lines. And she puts the numbers together and she crosses up and down on the map and taps the exact spot where these coordinates lead.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Because she's a very good traveler. And this takes her...
Who's this again? Who's this?
Lost Girl. Theo.
But good job, Lost Girl. Woo!
So Theo takes maybe 2 seconds. She knows exactly where this is. She doesn't know the numbers corresponded, but she knows how to read a map very, very quickly. And she points to it and she's like, we have to go here. And she points to kind of a blank spot on the map. Now, Akima, you know the lay of the land. So roll for me, please. My love, my dearest. Roll for me, please, a intelligence check. So roll a d20 and add a 3.
Can I assist with that?
No. Let her have this.
I got 11, so 14.
You know the lay of the land, and you know when the maps in all of Libro de Historia were changed. You know that Lost Girl has an updated map, like the most updated map it can. And you know where she's pointing. Check your stuff, babes.
Snapchat? Okay.
Oh, no. Just Pippa. Because she knows where this is.
Okay.
And I'm going to let her decide what she wants to do with the information that is given. Because I have a feeling I know what I would do if I were her character. But I have no idea what she's actually going to do.
Oh my god, it's pointing to the Dead Kingdom.
Oh, God. Okay. Not what I thought you would do, but okay. So she proclaims this. She kind of whispers this under her breath. My God, it's the Dead Kingdom. Now, wait a minute. You guys have the riddles. You guys have the coordinates. You guys know how to get there. I want everybody to roll a d20.
Sure.
Okay, so...
Oh my god.
19.
I got a lucky 13.
13,
Nice.
okay.
5.
That's it?
5. It's
Dear God. Okay. Akima, what was your roll again?
13.
Surprisingly, you are the only one that figures this out. Now, you have the information I gave you. You can absolutely keep this information to yourself and do some sneaky shit. Or you can share with the class. It's up to you.
Well,
I can work with the story either way.
Well, since I had a bad experience with necromancy before, I am going to share with the class.
Okay.
That's it.
You share with the class. So, would you like to share, or would you like me to do it for you?
The heir. He's in the Dead Kingdom at these coordinates. That's where he is.
Mwahaha. Yes, she is absolutely right. She shares with the class that the lost heir that we are so desperately searching to find and only have about 1 month left to find is at these exact coordinates in the Dead Kingdom. Roll a d20 and Akima adds 7.
I rolled a 16.
With or without the 7?
With the 7, it's 23.
With the 7, it's 23. Cool. Alex, roll for me a d12. Roll for me a d8 and add a 14.
So I rolled a 6, so that's a total of 20 even.
Wow. So, you notice that Heather's fingers start going very, very black, as if she dipped her hand in ink or in paint of some kind. You notice that her eyes start going really, really dark. And her hands start to shake. She backs up from the bed and she's very hesitant to get near any of you. She is very scared and very stressed out right now. She's terrified of what everybody just figured out. But Lost Girl is still trying to plot the best course to get to this place. And she's very excited to get back to this place because she knows that her magic might have revived a little bit of the land. So she's really excited to get back to the Dead Kingdom and finally finish this mission that she was set out to do. So Lost Girl doesn't realize this, but everybody else in the party notices this change in Heather except for Lost Girl.
Can I get Lost Girl's attention?
You can try. Yeah, but you can try, but unfortunately Lost Girl's rolling really low today. So you can try to get her attention, but she might not, it might not register in her brain because now she's hyper-focused on this. So
I get, I kind of get in her face, not in a, mean way, but I get in her face, to kind of get her attention, Lost Girl. And I kind of could have her get, and I say, softly, Lost to look at me, and I kind of point to Heather.
So you point at Heather, you tap Lost Girl on the shoulder, and you're like, Theo, you might want to look at this. And Lost Girl turns around. She sees Heather realize what's happening and just runs up and just hugs her. And she just starts to whisper, "It's okay. It's okay. I'm here. We're all here. It's okay." Just very calm, very smooth, very, very lightly, just calming Heather down. Not forcing her, but kind of giving her other stimulus to bring her back to reality, essentially. As she's doing this, Heather's eyes go back to normal. Her magic kind of returns to her hands, and you see the blackness of her fingers just kind of melt off, essentially. Like, her skin returns to normal, but nothing's, like, dripping from her hand. But just now her fingertips are black. And they remain black permanently. But it's just her fingertips.
Sorry to interrupt, but is since we rest, is all my hit points restored?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I just want to make sure.
Yes, sorry. Everybody, I should have mentioned that at the beginning of the game. Everybody's hit points have been restored to full. If you lost any hit points, they have been restored.
Okay, thank God. All right.
Yeah, no. You're good. So yeah. And Harry walks over, puts his hand on Heather's shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, fruitcake, you doing okay?" And she looks at her brother. Heather looks at her brother, looks at Lost Girl, and looks back at the rest of the party. And she says, "I don't know if I can do this." Questions, comments, concerns from the group.
I go to her and say, "What can you do?"
She looks back at you and she says, "I don't know if I can go on the rest of this adventure with you. I don't know if it's safe for you guys."
Why? What's wrong? Do you know something that we don't?
She looks at Lost Girl, who now... Hold on. Isaac, roll a d20.
Yes.
Roll a d20.
Yeah. 12.
You notice Lost Girl... You notice her face kind of change. You can't really tell what she's feeling, but you know that she knows something. And you see Heather knows something as well, and she's withholding that information because she's scared. And she really likes you guys. She thinks you guys are so cool. You've taken her out of her shell. You've taken her out of her, like, sheltered life and given her this adventure, and she wants to continue on, but she just doesn't know if she can. And
Heather, right?
Yes, this is Heather. And Lost Girl just kind of looks... You notice her face change from her usual happy demeanor, but you can't really discern whether it's concern, whether it's fear, whether it's love, whether... Like, you can't make out what emotion she's feeling at this point in time. But she looks at Heather, takes her hand, and goes, "You started this journey with us. You're going to finish it with us. One way or another. We're not leaving you behind. You or your brother. Plus, you're one of our strongest magic users. If shit goes haywire, we're going to need you. I need you." And that's what Heather says to... Or no, that's what Lost Girl says to Heather. And at this, Harry takes Phoenix's hand and just kind of looks at her as Lost Girl says what she says. And they exchange a glance.
Is there any food in the room?
Yeah, there's like fruit and nuts and there's also like astronaut food because you're in Silver Spire. Obviously, there's astronaut food.
Yay, astronaut ice cream.
Yeah, essentially, it's... Yeah, there's like astronaut ice cream and like astronaut like burgers and stuff like that. Essentially, you just have to like put it in the microwave, set the microwave to like hamburger, and it'll like rehydrate the hamburger that's in the pouch. I don't fucking know. I'm not an astronaut. I'm a biologist.
You're fine. So I grab an ice cream and I give it to Heather. Sorry.
You're good. So you grab an ice cream pouch, you give it to Heather, and you say, "Here, eat something. It helps." Actually, do you want to give her ice cream, or do you want to give her chocolate, or do you just want to give her like anything sweet? Like you have... Okay, let me say this. You have food at your disposal. You have a lot of food at your disposal. So you could... It doesn't have to be the ones I mentioned. It could be anything. So do you want to give her ice cream specifically, or do you want to give her something else? Because as a doctor, you'll know that magic reacts to cocoa, like cacao bean, very, very well. So chocolate, hot cocoa, pastries, they all react very, very well to magic in general, and give, like, it's kind of a magic, like, Advil, essentially.
Right.
So
yeah, then I'll get her like a chocolate pastry then, if that's okay.
You give her a chocolate pastry. Is there a particular pastry that you have in mind, or is just chocolate pastry?
I'm not really good with pastries. I think it would be a good idea.
Word. So you give her a chocolate eclair because she's fancy.
Okay.
Because she's fancy.
Okay. I'll give her that.
You give Heather a chocolate eclair and you say, "Here, eat something. It'll help." She takes the eclair and she starts eating it. Her fingers are still, like, the tips of her fingers are still permanently black, but she regains control. And she is no longer having that, like, panic of emotion. She's kind of mellowed out a little bit, but she's still a little bit worried about going on this adventure with you guys. Yeah.
Can I ask Heather something?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I ask Heather, can I gently grab your left hand for a minute?
Her left hand?
Yeah, I want to just grab her left hand for a minute.
Pause. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do?
I just want to touch her, like, the dark tips of her fingers to see if it hurts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So she gives you her hand, and you start going through, like, the typical medical checks, like testing her, like, finger reflexes, like start testing all the nerves and stuff like that. You go through kind of like typical magic checks. You're like, okay, make this ball float in the air. Okay, you know, just your typical, like, medical magic checks, essentially. And all seems normal.
Okay.
All seems normal.
With the fingers, have I seen that happen before? This is new to me.
Give me 1 second. Roll for me a D20.
9.
Do you have textbooks with you?
Textbooks?
Yeah. Or, like, any notebooks of any, like, previous knowledge that you would have learned?
You like, like a journal?
Kinda.
Yeah, I have a journal on me.
Does it have knowledge from, like, someone you learned from? Like, is it, like, your father's or, like, your priest's journal or something like that?
Well, it's a journal. It's just it's kind of a scattered journal. Like, there's, like, places where I have, like, it's, like, a big mess.
But it's yours, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and it, like, has, like, stuff I've learned, stuff, my journey so far, stuff I've learned, and it's, like, sticky notes, like, where, like,
okay,
everything is.
You know from your predecessors' journals that black fingertips are a sign of dark magic. And they're typically a sign of very strong, very powerful dark magic. However, you knew that Heather's magic was dark from the get-go. She was born with dark magic.
Right.
So her fingertips being black is essentially just kind of her power getting, like, you take it as, just her power is getting stronger. As she gets older, as she matures, her fingertips were bound to go black at some point. if she kept using magic. So this is not out of the ordinary for you to see. This is just something that's just kind of like, it's essentially magic puberty for her, for dark magic users.
Okay. Gotcha.
So in your mind, it's not anything bad right now. You don't perceive it as something bad. You just know, you know the facts, right? You know, black fingertips are a sign of dark magic. You know Heather was born with dark magic. You know that she's about 20-ish years old. 20, 27-ish years old. 26, 27. And you know she uses her magic a lot. Pippa, in the meantime, do you have any questions, comments, concerns?
I don't think so right now. I sit down next to Heather.
Okay, everybody's standing in the hotel room right now. You're all standing around this big circular table.
I say to Heather, you're going to find the air. We'll put an end to this.
Do you place your hand on her at all?
Yes, I do.
Where do you place your hand?
Like around her.
Okay, so you go in like for the hug? Like the side hug, kinda?
Yes.
Word. So, roll a d20.
15.
15?
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. As you go to hug Heather, right? Your fingers gently grace her arm, and you touch like the tattoo band that she has around her arms. This is where you see kind of flashes, almost like memories. And you see an image of a great battle. But it's not a battle that's coming. It's a battle that's already happened. It's a vision of the Great War. And you see the queen, your queen, Gold Queen Miranda.
Yes.
With similar black fingertips as Heather. She raises her hand to the sky. The Gold Queen. In this image, Queen raises her hand to the sky, gives a command. It's an inaudible command because you weren't there. Gives an inaudible command. Light shoots out from her hand and pretty much everything she is. And the entire battlefield is covered in this golden glow. And all of the quote-unquote enemies that are in this battlefield melt under a thick, beautiful layer of solid gold.
Whoa.
And they just melt under this, because it is piping hot gold. Like, it is liquid gold. That is essentially...
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about. I've seen Game of Thrones, so I know what kind of gold you're talking about.
It's liquid gold that is essentially raining from this bright light that has overcast the battlefield. As it rains down liquid gold, the queen's hand becomes black. And as her hand continues to stay up high, the black almost drips down her arm, consuming her entire arm, making it go permanently black. Hey, Akima, you know that the queen wasn't always the dark ebony goddess that you now know her. She was still black, but she was a much lighter shade of, like, much lighter shade skin tone of black than she is now. And this is in a flash that you see this.
Okay, I recoil after seeing it.
Yeah, you do.
Ooh.
Yeah, you do. Hold on. Oh, fuck yeah. Lost Girl knows this look. She's had this look a couple of times. She lets go of Heather, looks to Harry and says, "Stay here. Akima and I need to..." And then she looks at you, "Talk." And then she essentially, like, pushes you as heavy, like, as hard as she can, pushes you into the bathroom and goes, "What did you see?"
I saw the Queen during the war. And she used magic on the enemy.
She looks puzzled and she's like, "Okay, which war?"
The Great War.
And she's like, "You saw the final battle of the Great War? I thought you retired before the final battle." "Which you did."
Wait, was this after the Jabberwocky?
This was after this was the final, like, the end all be all. This is what made Gold Queen Miranda, essentially. Like, this is what gave her the title to Libro d'Historia. This is the final battle of the Great War. This is the battle that won the Great War. You were not there because at that point, you were still in a coma. You hadn't fully retired yet, but you were still in a coma from the Jabberwocky. So technically, yes, this was after the Jabberwocky, but not like years later. This was like a couple weeks later. So when Lost Girl looks at you and goes, "I thought you retired by the final battle," do you have a response?
No, that's not what happened.
Okay, then tell me what happened.
I was in a coma I was recovering from the Jabberwocky. I missed that part of the battle. Yes, I am still shaken, trying to put it into words.
Go.
Yes, I'm shaken. I'm trying to put it into words to describe it. That basically everything that I thought I knew was not correct.
She's like, okay. So she says, "Okay. Stay here. I'm going to go back out there and check on the rest of the group. We need to finish this now. This needs to end now." She goes back out, leaving you in the bathroom for a little while. Roll a d20 for me and add 7.
Or 11.
That's it?
Yes, that is what I got.
You wipe you like douse your face with some cold water from the sink, right? Just to kind of clear your head a little bit. You look up at the mirror and your eyes look a little bit sunken in, kind of. Like you have kind of bigger bags than you would expect, but hey, you haven't been sleeping well, babes. You've been on a long journey for a good few weeks now. And you're probably just tired. You don't really think anything of it. But when you look, they seem to go back to normal. After you wipe your face a little bit, kind of calm down. And they just go back to normal. and you just see kind of little bags there, but nothing too serious. Do you go back out there? Do you stay in the bathroom for a little bit longer? What do you do?
I go back out.
You go back out. And at this point, everybody's packing up their stuff to head on to this adventure, on this journey. Lost Girl has packed all the books. Phoenix has packed the map. Other way around. Phoenix has packed the books. Lost Girl has packed the map. Heather's packed like some clothes and some supplies. Harry is sharpening his sword. Like, they're just getting ready to go into whatever this is. Whatever is going to happen, they want to be prepared for the worst. And they're packing everything, getting everything ready, and they're, getting ready to move out. Is there anything specific that you want to pack Akima first?
Packing my knife and sword, because that is probably going to come in handy.
Sure. Okay. So that's what you pack. Dr. Isaac, is there anything that you specifically would like to pack?
I guess, potion I have, my Morning Star, I guess my stuff. And also, just real quick, I tell them, like, if we could just swing by a magic shop just real quick before we head out of the city. I already know what I want, so it'll be in and out.
Okay. So you're free to, while everybody else is packing up, they're checking out of the hotel, things like that, to run to the magic shop, down the street. Like, there's literally like one like across the street that's like a Walgreens in Silver Spire. Yeah, they're like Walgreens in Silver Spire. So you run across the store. What do you grab? What do you pay for?
I want to get a magical like fire sword, if that's possible.
Fire sword. Okay, I'll let you look for it. Roll a d20.
8.
So, you know that typically Silver Spire would have something like this, and you ask the shopkeep, hey, do you have anything that might resemble this at all, ? And shopkeep kind of looks at you and he's like, yeah, but we're kind of sold out and they're not a big ticket item, so we don't really order a lot of them. So what's on the shelf is on the shelf, essentially. And you go to the shelf, he points you in the direction, and unfortunately you don't see anything. They're kind of sold out. So, sorry. you don't get the fire sword. But keep that idea, because even though you might not have purchased it, that doesn't mean it can't come back later in time.
Okay. I asked, so there's nothing, no weapons available of any magical kind?
I mean, there are, but you have to be more specific. You gotta be more specific.
Okay, so what about a poison dagger or something?
Harry has his arrows, and a poison. So you can make poison and put it on Akima's dagger. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What about I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I like the question. I like the the out of the box thinking. I like it.
What about an ice weapon? Do you have an ice weapon?
Ice weapon. So they have weapons, but I want you to keep in mind that the weapons that you purchase here could very well change depending on which land that you go to. So if it's ice here, it could be flowers somewhere else.
That's fine. I'm going to take that risk.
So I want you to keep that in mind. Okay. So there are a couple of just simple, knives, swords, nothing too fancy. There's a gun, there's a blaster, but it's more laser than anything. There are a couple of lightsabers, like genuine, like cut through bone, behead Darth Vader lightsabers. And they're in various different colors, and it's kind of like that. But those are expensive. Those are going to be expensive. It's up to you what you want to buy, but yeah, I mean, they have weapons. They just don't have like ultra fantastical weapons, like a flaming sword. Don't think they would have it. Sword of Ice, maybe, but it's more along the lines of technological, like sci-fi weaponry than fantastical weaponry. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I roll to see they have an ice weapon or no?
Sure, go for it.
No. It's bad. No.
What was it?
4.
So you go to like the icebox section, and there is a singular small melting ice sword in the freezer section.
Oh, man.
You can take it, but I don't think it'll make the impact that you want.
No. Is a blaster reasonable?
Yeah.
I just grab a blaster then.
You grab a blaster. You now have a blaster in your inventory. That's the word. You now have a blaster in your inventory.
I run back, and I go to Lost Girl real quick, and I know it's not much, and I know you could probably do fantastical things. Just in case you're in a bad situation and you can't think of what to use, I give her the blaster.
Okay. Interesting that you would give it to Lost Girl. And not keep it for yourself. And you didn't take a lightsaber?
Oh. Could I afford one?
Yeah.
I'll probably take one. If that's possible. Maybe
Okay.
one.
So you buy. Here, roll a d4.
Sure. Yeah, okay. I got a 4.
Roll d100.
Oh no. Okay. 90? Yeah, it's a 90.
So each lightsaber is $90. And you want 4 of them. So you can buy that, but it's gonna dip into your bank account. Like it's gonna make an impact. Like you're gonna be getting a call from the bank. Hey, is this fraud? Like that type of big purchase.
Yeah.
So you definitely can. You definitely can, but like, do you want to?
I just want this. No. Is it possible just to get 2?
Sure.
Possible?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So you now have purchased 2 lightsabers. Would you like to hold them for yourself, or would you like to give them away?
Eat one for myself and give one to Lost Girl.
Word? Lost Girl is not defenseless, right? Like, she has a sword of her own.
I know. I just want to, just give her something. It's more of a thank you for what you did for me. That's it. I don't,
Okay.
So you have have options. I'm sorry.
No, you're...
I tell Oscar, I don't want anything to use this. I just want to show my appreciation.
No, you're all good. I don't mind that you gave it to Lost Girl. It's just curious that you're kind of... I'll talk to you later about it. So,
Sure.
you guys got lightsabers. You guys have checked out of the hotel. What mode of transportation would you like to take to the Dead Kingdom? In terms of what you can take...
I would take is there. That's the issue.
Huh?
Is there some kind of airship available?
You mean a blimp?
Or like some sort of aerial vehicle?
Sure. Roll a d20.
Believe in you.
I rolled a 15.
Nice.
So there definitely are. And there are a bunch of people in Silver Spire that know how to pilot said airship. However, that person's not going to be you. You don't know how to fly an airship. All you know is how to jump out of said airship and attack with force from the sky. But you can definitely rent an airship to get to where you gotta get to.
Yes?
Yes, question. Yes, what?
Yes, I think we should hire someone to fly us there.
Okay.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Okay. I can rock with that. So the prince and princess have a little bit of pull in Silver Spire. Y'all go to the airfield, and they walk in, and essentially they're treated like Air Force One, whatever the president flies in.
Yeah, Air Force One.
Yeah, Air Force One, yeah. So they're treated very much like Air Force One. They get like the best plane, they get the fastest plane, they get the best pilot, they're held very highly even here in Silver Spire. Because they're royalty and people know that. Plus their mother has a few, aircraft of her own because after the divorce, she did a little bit of therapy spending, and might or might not have bought a blimp. She bought like a blimp. She bought like a tiger. She bought shoes. She just went on a little bit of a retail therapy spree after the divorce.
Was a tiger?
Huh?
Was a tiger?
The tiger was short-lived. She donated it to the local zoo. It was great. It's in a better place now. It's it's at the zoo. It's very nice. It's being well taken care of. But yeah, she after the divorce, she went through a thing. We all have those moments. It's fine. You guys acquire a plane, an airship, no problem. They take you through all the safety regulations and stuff like that. You guys watch a video like, hey, you guys are going to be X amount of feet in the air. You just got to tell your pilot when and where to go. This is how you can act on a plane. This is how you can't act on a plane. Kind of that just generalized like safety brief on type thing on when you go on a private plane. So yeah, they just kind of tell you, yo, behave yourself, essentially.
Of course.
You absolutely don't have to, but we'll get to that next game. But you guys acquire this plane, no problem. You get to where you got to get to, and you see this gorgeous plane, a lot of big engines. It's going to be very, very fast, but it's going to be smooth as butter. It's going to be smooth as butter. You're barely going to know you're in the air. You all board the cabin. Y'all get on. It's very comfortable in there. It's very luxurious. Cushy leather seats, champagne, strawberries. It's a very nice plane.
Yeah.
Reese's peanut butter cups, like all this sort of like lobster, like it's very nice. It's very classy. It's very fancy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. So y'all strap in, y'all take off, no issue there. Light turns on, you are now free to roam about the cabin. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns?
I just ask Heather and I just go to Heather and Harry and tell them thank you for still having this connection.
They're like, word, no problem, dude. This is what we do as the prince and princess. If we are nothing if not good for our money. Like, that's... like, we're always good for a good time. So Harry just pulls a bottle opener out of nowhere and pops a bottle of champagne. And he holds it up, and he's like, to old friends, to new friends, to bad enemies and good times, takes a swig of champagne and passes it to his sister, who kind of rolls her eyes but also takes a swig.
I can totally see it.
Also takes a swig. She then passes it to Phoenix, who raises the bottle and says, here's to that. Takes a swig, passes it to Lost Girl, takes a swig, looks a little funny, does not love the taste of champagne, Miss Lost Girl, Miss Theo. Cause she's still young, she chillin', she child. Does not enjoy the taste.
Instant regret the moment she drank some.
It's not instant regret, but she's like, ooh, don't like that. it's very good champagne, so it's very dry.
So it's like strong.
Yeah, like it's just very dry. Like it leaves like kind of a almost bitter aftertaste in her mouth, which she's not used to.
Right. Okay.
But and then passes it to you, Miss Akima. She passes it. Are you taking a swig?
Yep.
Are you saying anything before you take a swig?
Here's to the coming battle.
Here's to the coming battle. Hell yeah. Oh, you guys are not ready. Yeah, here's to the coming battle. You take a swig, pass it to Isaac. Isaac, you're also very young. And you don't really drink that often. But do you take a swig?
I do, but before I do, I say, Theo, Kima, Phoenix, Heather, Harry, I just want to say, thank you for taking me along the journey.
Aww.
I don't know what's going to happen. And just so you know, whatever happens, I vow to keep you all safe. May we succeed in what we're about to do, and I'll Mother watch over us, and I take a big swig.
Good for you. You pass it back to Harry, and he's like, all right, let's lighten the mood. And he starts he goes over to like the bar or whatever, takes out some cups, pours y'all like glasses of champagne, flips a switch. He's very familiar with the inner workings of this plane. So he flips a switch, disco lights come on, right? A pole comes down the center of the plane, and music just starts raving. And he's like, oh shit, wrong switch. And he flips it off. He flips off the switch and changes it to something else.
Yeah.
Music does start to play, and the disco lights are still on, but the pole retracts to the top. And lights are a little bit more subtle, and music is a little bit lower, but there's definitely, like, he wants to party hard because he doesn't know what's coming next, but he doesn't know if he'll make it out of this alive. So he's like, all right, let's live the night like we're young. You know? Do y'all join in? Do y'all join in?
They will join in.
All right. So y'all join in. Lost Girl and Phoenix also join in, and they're dancing and they're having a good time and stuff like that. Isaac, this is not your scene. You're not a party hard kind of guy. You ditched the strip club and you were very nervous at the birthday party and you were kind of uncomfortable at the ball. What are you doing now that it's just kind of these people that you've gotten to know and come to care about? Are you letting your hair down a little, or are you just kind of, are you going to need like Lost Girl or somebody to like pull you out of that shell that you're in?
I just let out of my shell a little bit. I just put my hat down and just you know, go with the flow. Not too crazy, but you know, just
yeah. Aw, that's sweet. So you lay your hat down, you put your stuff down, no issue, and you're dancing, you're kind of just doing this like awkward little dance, and this awkward little dance, you know how like wallflowers dance. You've seen movies that usually take place in like 2003 and they're all going to prom, ? You know.
Yeah.
They're all going to prom. It's usually a dumbass theme like Starry Night. What the fuck is that? I'm sorry, what the fuck kind of prom theme is Starry Night? What? Why?
Bad DJ, that's what that is.
I am confused. I am confusion. So you do the awkward little wallflower dance that you've seen plenty of times in rom-coms of the 1990s. So you do it, you dance, and, you know, Lost Girl and Phoenix and Akima, they all kind of pull you out of that shell, and you're all very, very dancing and stuff like that. Because you're still kind of awkward, Doctor, give me a perception check with a D8.
6.
Plus 8 is how much? Like 12, right?
Plus 8? Oh,
yeah.
14. Oh.
Ooh, so close. So yeah, you are just having a good time. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. One thing that you do notice, however, is the fact that because you're flying over the lands of Libro d'Historia, your outfits, your weapons, things like that don't change. So you'll be able to go, you'll go over the Capitol and things like that, and you'll be flying over the Capitol for a fat minute, because the Capitol is huge. But yeah, you'll be flying over the Capitol, and your outfits won't change, your weapons won't change. Nothing really changes because you're in the air. So yeah, you guys are grooving and shaking over the thing. And you're going to be flying for like a good 5 hours. And I don't know if y'all want to party that whole time. I don't suggest you do. I suggest y'all take power naps in between and you don't get so god-awfully drunk that you can't fight the good fight, essentially.
Right. I do have to pull Heather for a side for just a second.
Yeah. Just Heather?
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
I say, hey Heather, so I know you and Theo are a thing, which congratulations, by the way. I'm glad you found someone that makes you happy.
Oh.
But the question I have is, do you know what she likes? I mean, what she's into? I mean, I'm trying to get like a good gift to make up for what she did for me, but...
So Heather looks at you and says, honestly, she really loves books. She really loves, like, stories, like old, like, either history books or story books or things like that. She just loves to read and figure stuff out, and she's always wanting to go on some sort of adventure. The amount of times that we've talked about going on just a really chill, just, like, kind of camping adventure after this is all over is remarkable. She's always looking for... She wants to figure something out, and she likes reading. So if you're gonna get her anything, get her a book. She tends to like books about, like, science and history. So maybe get her an old history book about Libro Distortia. Or, you know, maybe get her a microscope or alchemy kit of some kind. She's just really, really smart. So my best suggestion is a book.
Oh, I actually have something. Hold on. So I mainly run to Lost Girl real quick. Say, hey, Lost Girl. So I'm sorry about the whole giving you a blaster and lightsaber thing. I know it's weird, but I think I have some that I talked to Heather, and I have some I think you would like. It's kind of a childhood book of mine that I read a lot. I pull out a book. You can say it's not like I was. It's a biography, I guess, of a person. So it's a book about this famous pirate named Molly Mock Tea Leaf, and he, the famous swashbuckler. Funny enough, he was kind of like the Robin Hood of the seas. He helps the poor, steals from like the pirates or the rich people and gives to the poor and to his countrymen, and did a whole biography based on him. And I'd like you to I give it to you and tell me what you think. I think it's a great read.
Her eyes light up, and she's so excited because you gave her a book, and you gave her a book about a swashbuckling pirate, and she's so happy. And you gave her a book, and she's very, very excited, and she takes it and she hugs it, and then she hugs you, and she's like, this is not necessary. I would have done it for any one of us, but thank you so much. Yay. And she goes and she starts to, like, read through, like, the synopsis on the back of the book or whatever. Is it a hardcover, softcover?
A hardcover.
You spoil her. So yeah, she goes through the synopsis.
I do say some of it's probably exaggerated through legend, but I would say 90%.
She does not care. She is just happy. She's just happy that she got a book.
You know how people build up the legend bigger than what it is, but just be warned by that. But, you know, it's still a good read.
Oh, my mind is spinning with ideas. Okay, so you gave her the book, which is always very fun. And this is when like, things are kind of dying down. The party's kind of dying down. Y'all are now resting and preparing yourself for what's to come. Pilot turns back to you, kind of turns back and goes, "Hey, you lot. I don't know where y'all want me to go, but these coordinates are non-existent."
I said, Akima, I think we need your expertise.
Okay, I come over.
Hold on, pause. Expertise on what?
Like, didn't you say she's, like, good with, like, locations and stuff?
Her and Lost Girl, yeah.
You know, maybe she can, like,
but
the guy where to go.
Oh, okay, I see. I mean, coordinates are coordinates, and pilot's a pilot. Akima really doesn't, like, have any, I guess, sway. Like, it's just a matter of coordinates. It's a machine, so it's not like she can, like, help him navigate the sky like that.
Right.
Lost Girl might, but again, it's more of a machine, so if there's no runway to land on, the plane can't really land. So he's like, so the pilot looks back and goes, "All right, I'm gonna drop you lot off in the kingdom of Lolly. Y'all can find your way to these coordinates, if they even exist, from there. And he drops you off pretty much right at the border of Lolly. So now you guys are back. Actually, I take that back. He doesn't drop you off in Lolly, he drops you off in the capital. He drops you off at the very end of the border of the capital. And you guys all get off the plane. And you all walk off, you all collect your luggage, and you're like, alright, I guess we're huffing it from here. It takes you guys a minute to collect your things and get off the plane and thank the pilot and pay the pilot and things like that. So in those couple of maybe 5 to 10 minutes, Isaac, you look out over the kingdom, over the capital, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not how you remember it when you guys left.
Like, is it?
Roll a d8.
Different.
Roll a d8 for me and add. Roll a d8 and add 14.
19. I rolled a 5, so 19 total.
Very nice. Love that for you. You look out and you see that the ground is darker. You see that the people aren't as happy. You can kind of feel that the magic isn't as strong. And you look to the castle. And what do you see? You see kind of spikes of a shadow slowly, ever so slowly, creeping up the walls of the castle. The moat that surrounds said castle, that was just kind of there for like decoration, essentially, is now like bog water. It's very dark. It's very murky. It's got some like mold spores and dead plants and like kind of weird looking animals kind of floating in it. It's not a pretty scene. The grass is dead leading up to the castle. The drawbridge that comes down to let people into the courtyard of the castle looks weathered and rickety, and the chains that bring it down and bring it back up are very rusty, and it looks almost cracked almost. And then the foundation of this castle, ever so gently, looks a bit worn. It looks cracked. The top, that's the regular color that you see, perfectly fine. Polished, beautiful, perfectly fine, gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Can I ask you something weird?
Yes.
Can I roll a d20, make like a perception check to see if anyone's like at the shadows, like at the shadows here, but looking from a distance, or if anyone like suspicious is looking at us?
No one's looking at you. I'll let you rock with that 19 for a little while. No one's looking at you. They're just kind of in their own little world. They're kind of worried about what's gonna happen.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, Shadow is not there currently, but he's been here for sure. He's definitely been here.
I point this out to everyone, like to the yo, something's wrong.
You just kind of like look, like not even look over your shoulder, but just kind of talk over your shoulder. Hey, y'all might want to see this. They turn around. Harry sees nothing. Harry is in his own little world. He's still taking bags out of the plane. He's still like paying the driver. He's, grabbing things that y'all might need from the plane. He's packing it in his bag. He's taking like food and water and things like that, things to camp with. You know what? No, my story. Fuck it. just no.
Sometimes the dice be like that. Go ahead.
Heather sees what you see. Lost Girl sees what you see. Phoenix doesn't see. She's helping Harry with the bag. She doesn't really turn around. She's just like, okay, let's get this mission done. She is very hyper-focused on getting the mission. She does not turn around. Hey, Akima, roll a d20 for me. Just straight d20.
15.
You turn around and you see what Isaac sees. You also see that people are a little bit more depressed. You see that things are not as vibrant as they once were. You see the cracks in the very bottom layer of the castle, and you see kind of these shadowy spikes reaching up the castle. They haven't made it to the top yet, but they're slowly making their way. You also feel a sort of tingle in like your gut that you didn't feel before when you were in the capital. This is a brand new sensation for you, but it's just kind of this like gut feeling that something isn't there. Something is off.
Okay.
Right? You said you rolled a 15?
Yep.
You look down at your hands and you see that they've kind of turned a little, like, not like gray, you know, like it's not like you're like dazed from death. Like they've just turned like a little, like you're kind of tired. You know how your skin kind of just kind of gets kind of gray when you're tired?
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happening with your hands right now. You're just kind of feeling very melancholy, very, very sad almost. And your skin looks a little gray. To the naked eye, nobody would be able to perceive it, but you do because it's on your hands, you know. You notice it. But it's not a big, like, concerning change. Dr. Isaac, you recognize this scene to be the image, like the flash image that your priestess, goddess, Mother Earth, the woman that you prayed to.
It's Wild Mother.
Huh?
Wild Mother.
Yes.
Wild Mother.
Wild Mother. This is the image that she gave you of the Capitol in that vision.
Oh my God. Okay.
And you have a very strange sense of deja vu. And it clicks, and you're just like, oh, shit. You know, like, you're... Yeah. So that's where you're at with that, and you recognize this scene. You recognize this image before you as the vision that the Wild Mother gave you. Do you have questions, comments, or concerns?
God, so, Jesus, I'm like, okay. It's a lot to take in. Oh.
Okay, think about it for a second. Akima, do you have any questions,
go ahead.
comments, or concerns?
I don't think so right now.
Okay. Back to you, Isaac.
And we're like, listen, everyone, we gotta get... I know this is bad, so we gotta get back to that place and on the air immediately so we can fix this.
Isaac, roll you said a 19 before?
Yes.
You notice that Lost Girl's face changes, and now you can clearly, distinctly see that she's worried about something. She knows something. She has information that she's not quite letting on quite yet, but she also sees what you see, and she's very worried about something. She also has a strange sense of deja vu. You can see it in her face. She is remembering this image or something like this image, and it's not causing her grief, but it's definitely making her pause and think about things for a second. and making her just kind of realize, like, oh, this is worse than I initially thought. We got to get this rocking. Like we got to go, fam. We got to go. We got to get this moving and grooving.
So, DM, do I dare ask, is the monorail still working?
Yes, it is.
Ask everyone, do we want to take the monorail? Like,
you're at the very border. You could easily walk, and it would only be like a 20-ish minute walk.
To get to the Dead Kingdom?
Yeah.
Right,
To just get into the kingdom. Not to necessarily find the coordinates, but just to grace the Dead Kingdom with y'all's presence. It would take about maybe 10 to 20 minutes to walk there.
Ask everyone, do we want to walk there, or what's the plan? Do we want to use the train again?
Lost Girl votes walk. Heather votes train. Harry votes train. Phoenix also votes train. Akima, what do you vote?
I vote train.
Looks like y'all are taking the train. Looks like y'all are taking the monorail. You guys collect your possessions. You get on the monorail. Get on. You're like, okay, we would like to purchase a ticket to go to XYZ. And the operator, the ticket master person, gives you a strange look. She's like, no, there's only one train that goes to this location, and it's been out of commission for like a good couple years. I'm not even sure it works anymore. I'm not even sure they put gas in it. Or they put steam in it or whatever. Or they charged it. Monorails work on electricity. I'm not sure they charged it. So you can try, but I don't know if it'll run for you, fam. Questions? Concerns?
I asked him, can you take us there? Where we need to go?
The Ticketmaster?
Oh, no, not the Ticketmaster, but like, is there like a person that we can hire that could take us?
I mean, it's all electronic, so you type in the coordinates and the train will take you there. It's not human operated anymore. And the Ticketmaster is like a 16-year-old kid.
Oh.
Yeah, like he's like this is his minimum wage job to put him through high school. Like he's not, electrical engineer by any stance.
No, I understand. Oh my god.
The poor baby is just trying to make $14 an hour.
I pull Akima aside for a minute and say, Akima, do you think maybe we should find someone who knows how to work the monorail, or do you think we should just get on one and put the coordinates ourselves? Or what are you thinking?
I think we might be able to work it ourselves.
Yeah, it's very user-friendly. You don't need somebody else to operate. You just put in the coordinates that you want to go, and it'll take you there.
Sorry about that. I'm overcomplicating things. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I understand the world building is kind of difficult, and none of us know how monorails work.
Yeah. So I go to the kid. I go to the
trains.
Huh?
I know how monorails work.
Oh, word.
Nice. Oh, I go back to the kid real quick. I give him a $5 tip. Here, thank you for everything, and buy yourself some lunch, man. Good luck to you.
Oh. Okay. He's like, thanks. Here are your guys' tickets to wherever you're going. And he hands you the tickets, and he's like, good luck, I guess. And he's like, your monorail's gonna be the last one on the lot.
Alright. Thank you. Good luck. Have a good day.
Aw, you're so adorable. So yeah, you guys go to the last monorail, and it looks about as he described. It's very dusty. It's looks like it hasn't been driven in forever. You know, there are cobwebs on the mechanics, and there's just... This monorail particular has not been touched in a fat minute. In a fat minute.
I use some like light magic kind of to blow out the dust a bit at least, so it won't be in our way, to kind of just blow some dust away. Sure.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. Just you blow, you use your star, you do whatever you gotta do. And it blows the dust away, blows the cobwebs off, and it still looks rickety, but it looks workable now. So y'all get on the monorail.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. You gotta tip your hat or whatever, and you are leading the charge, Dr. Isaac, onto this monorail. So the line of succession is Dr. Isaac, followed by Kima, followed by Lost Girl, followed by Heather, followed by Phoenix, and Harry is bringing up the rear. And Phoenix and Harry are pretty much carrying the bulk of stuffs. Y'all get on the monorail, you input the coordinates, and it blinks red, and it's like, invalid coordinates. Invalid coordinates. Please place coordinates in the box. And it just kind of glows red.
So good.
Huh?
I like your voice. That was so good.
Oh, thank you. Blinks red, and there's a little itty bitty, teeny tiny override button at the very bottom left corner of the screen.
I tell Akima, should I press this?
You can.
Should you?
Yes. Yes, press it.
So I press it. Boop.
You press the button, and another screen pops up. Please enter ticket code. You enter your ticket code. Override complete. Override complete. Please hang on and enjoy your time. And then it kind of rickety starts, it kind of shudders a little bit as it starts to go. And you kind of hear it buzz to life. It's working real hard to get started. Do you want to do some magic shit?
God, I don't know where to get. Is it feel like it's low on
Power.
Okay. Power. Where's the battery at?
Oh, it's under the control panel, so you can easily lift up the control panel and give it a jump start, essentially.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna do that, and then hold on, let me find it.
Akima, would you like to help hold up? Akima, would you like to help hold up the control panel so it doesn't completely smash his head in?
Oh, yes.
Word. So
I was gonna say your voice reminds me of the robot lady from inside the Epcot
really? The spaceship Earth girl?
Yes,
You mean,
yes.
Judi Dench?
Judi Dench.
Alright, yes. So at first level, I'm gonna cast guide bolts onto the battery to hopefully give it a charge that it needs to get this puppy going.
Okay. So you look back, and it's kind of that scene from Jurassic Park. You know, when he's trying to flip on the switch, and he's hold on to your butts. They all buckle in, you cast it, and it definitely jump starts this machine. And it goes, and it starts up, and it's now kind of at full power, and it starts to go a little bit faster, throwing kind of everybody back in their seat a little bit.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it goes noom. It go noom. You cast it just a bit too hard. You gave it just a little too much power. Then it kind of levels out. It kind of levels out, and you guys are going. Akima puts the control panel back down, and the screen lights up, and you see a very polished-looking woman pop onto the screen. And she looks at she pops up on all the screens, and she's like, "Hello, my name is Etta, your entertainment travel assistant. How may I assist you today?"
We are trying to reach these coordinates. I give them to Etta.
You type them into the machine, and she says, "Thank you. Coordinates locked. Your estimated time of arrival is 40 minutes. Please enjoy your time." And
your voice is so good. I love it so much. God damn, that's so good.
As you're riding on monorail yellow, your 40-minute journey can be filled with loads of entertainment. And she kind of waves her hand on the screen, and a whole bunch of video games or videos or, History Channel, kind of pops up. Just kind of doing that whole thing, typically as one does. And they're all touch screens and stuff like that. As you travel, we do have some safety protocols, however. Please remain seated as long as possible. If you do wish to get up, please make sure that you are on stable ground. And, she goes through the whole safety thing. If you are sitting, please make sure that you remain buckled in at all times. After all, you never know how turbulent your journey could be. If you need anything, my name is Etta, and I'd be happy to assist you. And then she kind of bloops off the screen, and it's just kind of... You know how when your computer goes to sleep, and it's kind of images of a mountain, and then an ocean, and then a lion for some reason. We never know what's going to happen, but that's kind of... The computers essentially go to sleep. Etta essentially goes to sleep until you call upon her again for information.
Cool.
So you guys are on this journey. Would you like to interact with anything? Anybody?
I would like to go to Harry real quick. Say, "Hey Harry, sorry for giving you a hard time about Phoenix thing, but just please look after her. I know she's capable of her on her own, obviously, but just look after her while we're here, because I don't know what we're gonna face."
And he looks at you and he's like, "Honestly, I understand. My reputation isn't exactly squeaky clean, so I understand where you would want to be protective, especially of a woman like her. So I get it, and I will try my damnedest not to screw this one up." And that's kind of all he says.
I tap him on the shoulder and said, "I have faith in you, Harry."
Aw, how cute. Akima, would you like to interact with anybody else? Or would anybody like to explore Etta? Or what's...
I am going to explore Etta.
Okay. What would you like Etta to do?
I ask her about our destination.
You ask her about the destination. Okay. So do you just kind of call upon it like Siri, or do you tap the screen? What do you do to... You tap the screen. Okay. So you tap the screen and she says, "How can I help you?"
Please tell us about our destination.
Happily, your destination is... And then she, the program pauses for a minute. And she goes, "I'm sorry, I don't seem to have any information on your destination. Maybe you could help me. Where are we trying to go?" And she pulls up all the known kingdoms of Libro d'Historia. And you don't see the Lost Kingdom there.
I am thinking.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
question. So, it's moving, obviously.
Yes.
So it's going to the destination, but it doesn't know where it's going, correct?
So the monorail knows the coordinates that you put in, and it's going to get you to the closest monorail stop to those coordinates that you put in. But ETA does not know where you're going. ETA is just a universal program that they put on all of the monorails for travelers, like entertainment, because she's an entertainment travel assistant. So if, ETA will not, the ETA program will not know where the monorail is going until the monorail tells it where it's going. And right now it's just coordinates. So to ETA, you're just going to dead space, essentially.
So it's like she knows where to go, but she doesn't know nothing about where we're going.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's okay, that's fine.
Isaac, have you left Harry's side, essentially, or are you still, like, sitting next to Harry?
Next to Harry.
You're still sitting next to Harry. Okay, so Phoenix comes on the other side of Harry to sit down next to him and talk. And all three of you are just having a conversation. Do you want to have a conversation about something in particular, or do you just want it to be just small talk, essentially?
I guess small talk. I would just ask Phoenix, what do you guys like about each other? I'm just curious.
Aw. Wow, we're getting Dr. Phil. Okay.
Sorry. Just curious.
No, you're good. Playing both Wow. Okay. Good. No.
Good look.
You're
obvious.
You're all good. I'm gonna let you imagine that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's gonna be very hard for me to differentiate between Phoenix and Harry and what Phoenix sees in Harry and what Harry sees. So it's just going to get complicated. So I'm going to let you personally imagine what that conversation is like and kind of fill in your own blanks there. If you have specifically like a specific question for Harry or a specific question for Phoenix, you can say like, hey DM, I have a question. But if not, I'm just going to let that kind of rock, and I'm gonna let you fill in your blanks there. Shifting gears, so Heather and Lost Girl are sitting next to each other, obviously, and Heather is braiding Lost Girl's hair as she's reading the book that you gave her, Doctor.
Cool.
And she's reading and reading and reading, and she notices a name that kind of makes her pause a little bit. And she sits up and looks over to Heather, and she's like, hey guys, you might want to see this. And you all come over, you all gather around as she reads aloud. Captain Molly was a fantastic swashbuckling hero that stole from the rich and gave to the poor. She was commander of the high seas, and she learned everything she knows from the famous captain Alexandria Blue.
Do I recognize that name?
Yeah, you do. You stole her fucking sword.
Oh. Oh shit. So she learned from Molly, or vice versa?
Molly learned from her.
Oh.
Molly learned from her.
Awesome. That sounds awesome. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay.
The minute you said that, I was like, oh, yes. Oh, yes. Lost Girl continues to read. After years on the high seas, Molly and Captain Blue sailed all over Libro d'Astoria and other lands, pillaging and plundering for the betterment of the crew as well as society. It wasn't until Captain Zonny Blue broke Molly's heart that she became the hero she is today. So she looks up at the crew and at you guys, and she's like, I think Zonny is a lot older than we think. Or I think Zonny has a little bit more of a story to tell than we think. Do you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns?
So I asked her, like, what do you mean, like, more to say? Like, what do you mean?
She looks up and she's like, I just think we haven't seen the last of Captain Blue. And I think she has more information than any of us will know. But the thing is, I don't know if she'd help us again. But I think we might need her help along the line.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
Yeah, God.
So as you guys are thinking about this, your minds are reeling, your thoughts are running through your head. You have no idea what to think. Monorail starts to slow down, and Edda comes back on all of the screens. Welcome to your destination. I hope you had an amazing journey, and please ride monorail again. Have a great day. And it flips off.
Bye.
Yes. And then it says in Spanish, Por favor, Montego. Done.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And it flips off and the doors open. You guys are in a rickety old station that wasn't there before. And you guys are back where shit happened. Only it doesn't look the same.
Oh.
It doesn't look the same. There's very small patches of greenery that are somehow thriving in this deserted area. Very small patches. It's not raining ash anymore, but it's still very foggy. But at least now you can see in front of you, and you can kind of see and get a feel for the landscape. You see more tombstones, you see, little like mosquitoes or like flies or like maybe even like a cockroach or two coming up from the ground. It's still the Dead Kingdom, and there's not a lot that can sustain life here. The minute the doors open, all magic users get hit with this rush of just kind of draining energy, almost.
Yeah.
You are still in a land without magic. You are in a land without magic. Whatever you have, it's there. You have. If you have a sword, great. But if you rely only on your magic, you might not make it out of this alive. So you look out, and Lost Girl takes out the map. She looks at the coordinates, and she looks to the landscape, and she's like, I know where we have to go. And she looks back at Akima. The coordinates lead to the house.
Oh, the house? One of which tries to stop
the house.
Oh, Christ.
Camera pans to the house, and then it pans back, and it's all six of you looking at this house, and as it pans out, the song starts to play.
It's you and me. And if only could, I'd make
and then camera pans out, and it fades, credits roll. That's where the episode ends.